And we're live, and welcome along. You are with Rob Ellen, not in the Moose. We are actually at the home of Matt Hill. Matt.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks for having us in. Yeah, the camera's over there, so if
yeah,
you're looking in this direction, you're looking at me. But that's cool. Welcome, guys. Matt is in, and I am. We're in Glossop. I'm going to perhaps talk about the Glossop music scene. I've been here for the weekend, and I've experienced pretty much a lot of it over the weekend. It's been fabulous. It's been a great time. Matt had me out to your first gig.
Yes.
Since the pandemic and all other manner of obstacles that were put in your way. I want to talk about that as well at some point. I also want to talk about Elvis, because you just you put me through it. And you put yourself through it as well. We just watched an Elvis movie, and I just realised how bad they actually were.
Yeah, they were. Not all of them, but yeah, it got pretty grim.
It did.
Yeah,
poor Elvis. So,
especially when you think like what else was going on when he made those bad movies between like 64, 67.
Yeah.
You know, what
the
else
British invasion was going on.
Yeah, and then like the whole like Bob Dylan, Simon and Garfunkel, the folk music thing, like psychedelia.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Elvis was in Hollywood making these awful films.
To pay for the Colonel's addictions. So a little bit more about that. And Elvis is in the back, and it's nice to have you, Elvis. Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much. And as is tradition, though, here on the Monday Night Medicine Show, would you kindly introduce yourself to our audience with a song?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah. I'm going to play quite an old song for me. I've been writing songs for years, and you know, sometimes when you're not quite sure what you're in the mood for, there's like one song that you keep going back to. And so I'm Matt Hill, and this song's called "There Go the Ghosts." Dawn splits the blinds, bathes you in light, and you stir, but continue to sleep. I watch from the chair, amazed that you're there, as you wrap yourself up in the sheets. What a gift you turned out to be, you're exactly what I need. So let me unwrap you, kiss, caress you, treasure the moment you bring. I open the blinds, crawl back to your side, and the sunlight warms your skin. We don't have tomorrow, but for now we can borrow the pleasure morning can bring. But I've seen ghosts in the flames, the fire our passion made. We're both in the shadows of others who've passed, both been shattered and frayed. There go the ghosts. We've both been tattered and frayed. There go the ghosts. So let us be lovers, at least for the summer, till winter takes you away. Both know forever is not where we're heading, but Right here's a good place to be. Right here is a good place to be.
Very nice. Right here. Well, I'll take it. Right here is a good place to be. It's a good day. I've had a lovely time. Lovely sunny day on a Monday here in Glossop. And we've already had a look at your Elvis collection, which of books. Let's just talk about that. Let's get Elvis out of the way.
Yeah.
I don't think I've managed to get Elvis out of the way. I'm pretty traumatized by that movie and what you were saying. God love him, Elvis. What are you doing? Why was he doing that?
Well, it's interesting. I think psychologically, it's a complicated answer. Like he grew up with a very dysfunctional relationship with his mother,
right.
And his mother ruled the roost, and he became the kind of personality that needed an adult to tell him what to do, to control him in a way. And he never really ever broke away from that.
Right.
And when his mother died, Colonel Parker became that figure. And so he broadly did what he was told. There's like 2 or 3 times that he rebelled, and that's when he did his greatest work.
Right.
And that's what's so heartbreaking. Is we're talking about him like he's some kind of failure, like all these missed opportunities. Yet he was the biggest star of all time.
Show business star ever.
And yet, what could he have been?
Yeah.
And that's what draws me back to his story time and time again. Is it doesn't matter if you are the biggest star in the world and you've got it all, and you're everything, and yet you're still not fulfilling your potential.
Yeah. I mean, that amazing story. The fact that all of the American showbiz machine was at his disposal completely. At his Hollywood accepted him. He was the highest paid Hollywood star in those times.
And there was precedent. Like Frank Sinatra had a successful recording career and was in serious movies. But Colonel Parker was all about the money. And those movies, Elvis could do 3 a year because they turned them around so fast. They only took a couple of weeks to make. And the soundtracks were so awful, but there'd be like 12, 14 songs on there. And he put out 3 albums a year, and they're all making money.
So what I'm going to do then, for more Elvis, I'm going to flash up your Instagram thing, which has become a labour of love for you, hasn't it?
It's definitely become a labour of love. I have become an influencer, Rob, age 52.
I think you are. And the influence being all of Elvis's books, which you've got a library full upstairs, and if you get one, you review it, basically. And I scour for them, don't you?
I get people from all over the world now messaging me and going, "Thank you for that review. I bought that book. It's amazing. Thank you for warning me about that. I was thinking of buying it." And so people are literally spending money based on my recommendations, which feels like a responsibility.
You've got that responsibility. So the movies, you're not going to review the movies, I don't think.
Maybe I'll get around to it at some point, but
it'd be difficult to give anything a good review, though, wouldn't it?
Well, there's some really good ones in the early days, like there's real promise there.
So we did sit through Double Trouble. Had its challenges there for a while. It's
a terrible film. Let's just say it's a terrible film.
Which was, and it ties in with the Elvis story, which was set in Europe supposedly, but filmed in the backlog of MGM.
From
studios.
1956 onwards, all Elvis wanted to do was to come to Europe and perform and play. He knew he was big here. He got a sense of it when he came in the army.
Well, he came through Scotland, didn't actually. Prestwick was in the
so he was based in Germany, but he spent time in Paris. He did travel to Paris and Munich, and he went around a little bit, and he got a sense of how much the European fans loved him. And it never happened because his manager, unbeknownst to Elvis, he thought his manager was from a colonel from the south of the USA, turned out to be a Dutch criminal on the run. An illegal immigrant.
And if he left America, and of course he wouldn't let Elvis leave without him because somebody else would snap.
Because somebody might
steal his
whisper in his ear. Yeah.
So Elvis, bless your heart, and thank you for that. We've had an Elvis Day. If you want to go and have a look at Matt's fabulous catalogue of reviews, it is on your screen just now, Elvis Library Instagram. And please do drop him a line. Drop him a like on that because he's an influencer. So don't let me influence you, just do it for an Elvis fan. So Matt, and this leads us to the next question, might be a tricky one to ask as well. During lockdown hit you in two ways, didn't it? It hit you, it actually made the quiet loner a quiet loner. And it was like you had written your own script, because you had to have an operation during lockdown, and you were deaf.
Well, no, not quite. Well, kind of like the opposite, actually. But I
was hearing everything.
Yeah. So lockdown, when it initially came, I lost my entire income overnight. So I earned my living using songwriting in community settings. I run songwriting classes. And everything got cancelled. So I lost all my income overnight. And that was a worry. And then on top of that, this condition that I have is getting worse and worse, and it was preventing me from playing. So I heard everything, like my internal body constantly. I could hear my heartbeat, the blood moving through my veins, my eyeballs moving, like every sinew and tissue of my internal.
Turned inwards.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And then external sounds, I was hypersensitive. So like two mugs clanking together would send me to the floor.
We were just walking, and I know this story. We were just walking down the high street, and a fire engine went off right beside you. I saw you once. I got fright as well. But you were saying that if that had happened during your before
the surgery, I couldn't have.
That would have got you in hospital.
Well, it would have literally floored me, because I had this thing called Tullio's phenomenon, which is sound-induced vertigo. So sound can knock me over, literally. I mean, it's happened to me performing. I did a gig and I got up to do my first song, and when I hit the chorus, I must have hit a certain frequency of note, and I just went. I like staggered. I mean, I managed to catch myself and not fall. But people must have thought I was drunk. Like it's such a weird condition, quite rare. But I'm glad to have got some surgery. It's not cured it, but I can function.
And we did, and you, I say we did, I was there. You did your first gig since all that happened. How was it?
The gig was great.
The gig was fabulous. But from a performance point of view?
Fabulous. It's weird for me because I feel like I've got a new voice. Because for the last sort of 5 or 6 years, my voice to me sounded like I was singing through a kazoo amplified through a broken speaker. So I couldn't really hear my own voice, and I couldn't pitch properly. I was guessing, really. I was relying on muscle memory. And that was okay, because I've been singing a long time. It wasn't an embarrassment or anything. But I couldn't really tell. I could never tell. So that affects your confidence.
So that's better.
So much better.
Degree better.
And I can hear now, and I can hear my voice, and it's really strange because it doesn't sound like me.
So right, we'll go on. We'll talk about your music and what's coming up as well. But before we do, when you were waiting for the operation to come back, did you have a period of time where you didn't know if it was going to work or not, and you were waiting for the sound to?
Like the first few weeks, I couldn't walk. I couldn't stand up. So basically, the room.
They worked on your inner ear, didn't they?
So the room was spinning constantly for days and days. It took me a couple of weeks to get out of bed, and then I was walking with sticks for about 3 or 4 months before I could walk upright without aid. So I had to learn to walk
internally, or were you externally then? So you knew something was mended.
There was things I could tell immediately, but there's also other things like since the surgery, my tinnitus is loads worse, which I knew would happen. So it swings around, but it's been like it's like.
Well, I'm pleased to have you back.
Aren't
we all pleased to be back?
Hooray for the NHS, everybody.
Thank goodness for that. Okay, we have a chat frame on the go, and we have some messages coming up. This is from Jenny, and I'm going to flash Jenny up, and she is I can't read it. This just finished my guitar practice. Fingers are burning. Still can't tap.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us, guys. And any questions for Matt, please do pop them in there. If we get round to answering them just now, we will do it at some point a bit later on. We'll catch up with all the messages, and thanks again for joining us. So Matt, what's next? I mean, you do marvelous work. You're back to work now as well, and your social. You were telling me that you'll maybe go into prisons and you might work with homeless people.
Yeah, I do work with people who are homeless. I've got a few of those projects coming up this year. I've just finished a project where I took some museum objects into prison and worked with the guys to sort of uncover the stories within these objects, and to write songs about it. And they're going to be part of an exhibition that's happening this summer. Nice. So I work with museums. I've just finished the project with the Wordsworth Museum in the Lake District.
Wow.
Working with homeless people, reimagining Wordsworth's poetry in the 21st century, because some of his poetry is really radical.
It is, yeah.
So that's been interesting. So I do some really interesting stuff. Yeah.
You do, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got is it a back boiler project, or are you advanced in the one-man show that you're doing with?
Yeah, so I've been working with a theatre director, and we put like a sort of 20-minute performance together of one-man show. So it's only still got a lot of work to do on it. Yeah. But that was exploring why as someone from Nottingham, why am I obsessed with Americana? Why do I love country music?
It's not just Elvis.
No, it's all of it really. Yeah. Country, soul, blues. I mean, all of that kind of music I love. And
you and me both.
And it's like, is that authentic? Is that appropriate? Yeah. And I'm asking those sorts of questions. And actually, it's been a really interesting thing. I've learned a lot about the kind of town I grew up in.
Yeah. About
what it means to be a man. Yeah. This like masculine role models. And, I suppose toxic masculinity in some ways, and it's really interesting what kind of. I mean, I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and
So you're writing a screen,
a stage production
for that.
Yeah. So
and you're also writing the music for that as well.
Yeah. So I'll be doing songs for that. I've already written a few for that. Yeah.
And you would hope to take that to art centres and
theatre. Well, that would be the dream. I think we're a long way off that. But the idea is if you can, if I can get it tight enough, and I'm working with someone who's really good, like a really good, well-respected person. So I'll need to find more money to make that happen because it's expensive, But that's like all these projects I work on. They all rely on donations and funding and grant applications, and
that's a timely reminder of all of that, and that's probably what helped you get through.
Yeah. Oh yeah, during COVID, I mean, I got grants off charities and stuff because I'd lost all my income. Yeah. And of course, we all got a bit of money.
You were doing a bit of live streaming.
Yeah, I did a lot. I did.
Because we did a bit together.
We did, yeah.
So thanks for joining us, guys, and thanks for having Matt here as well. How about Quiet Loner? Is that in abeyance now? But it strikes me that Quiet Loner might have been like Hank Williams, his alter ego, where he did his really hard-going stuff. Luke the Drifter.
Luke the Drifter.
Was the Quiet Loner your Luke the Drifter? Because there was a lot of quite radical political points being made in those Americana songs, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think so. I think for me, I always felt like I couldn't authentically be Matt Hill and sing like country type stuff.
That's what we're talking about just now.
Yeah,
this is you getting over that.
And I am
growing to be Matt Hill.
Yeah, the last album I put out, the last couple of albums I've put out under my own name.
Yeah,
as Matt Hill, because actually, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I think I might go back and use the Quiet Loner again. Who knows? But I'm more comfortable now with the idea that I can play. If I want to play country music, I will.
Yeah.
So
quite right. I agree. And so album-wise, have you got a whole load of songs ready to go for another one?
I'm one of them people who's always got tons of songs. Like I've just been working on a project called The Low Drift with two friends of mine, and that's a project
on your website.
Yeah, all about landscape, and so we're about to start work on a new one of those. Yeah, I've probably got 30, 40 songs ready for the next album, just in case if I can afford. Yeah. How I can afford to make it, because increasingly people don't buy physical, and I can't make enough money on streaming to pay to record it. So I end up losing money. I've never made much money on my albums, but I always break even.
Do you do that crowdfunding thing, or do you try and avoid?
Yeah, no, I did do a crowdfunder for the last but one album, and basically paid for it in advance, which was lovely.
Well, it's been a while, so I think that there'll be loads of people that will throw their tenors in the pot.
Yeah, I hope so.
And that will help. We will help any way that we can. We've got a good audience tonight, and thanks for joining us. This is the Medicine Show Monday, which is going to be a regular feature here on IMTV. Don't know what we've got next Monday, but it'll be worth staying tuned. The page that you're on, it will be on that page. However, if you would like to go to medicineshowontheroad.me and like that page and invite your friends to follow it too, the more we'll view. That's the way that I like to put that. So please do take a moment to do that. And also, I'll just flash this up while we're on it, while we are doing the pitch of IMTV is all funded quickly, and that's last week's one. Sorry, we'll pull this week's up. Please help the Medicine Show and IMTV Mobile stay mobile. Life, your donations go to that with our gratitude, and you'll find a donation button on the page that you are viewing on, and here's the PayPal account as well. And it is very much appreciated, and it's very much appreciated you're allowing us this opportunity as well, Matt. All that and a song too. Okay. And we're going to get an Elvis song, aren't we?
We are, yeah. It's really hard to pick one because there's so many, but I'm going to play one because it's Valentine's Day tomorrow.
Well, no, let's have one of your songs and an Elvis song. Is that asking too much?
No, that's not asking too much. Okay.
New one that might not have reached the public just yet?
I'm asking that's probably a bit. Yeah. No, I'll do something from the last record. Yeah. Okay. This is called Save Your Pity. It's about an old man.
Okay. This is Matt Hill here on the Medicine Show, Monday Night Medicine.
He'll be here soon. I can feel his breath on my neck, but I don't fear his call. I don't fear anything at all. You think I'm weak and I'm frail, but I can still set my sails, though my body is aged and my mind the sea still rage. You men of God seem so sure you've got it right, but aren't you gamblers just like me, placing bets, chasing dreams? Where were you in the war? Out in the company of widows, while I was burying their dead on a battlefield painted red. So save your pity for yourselves, cry those tears for someone else. Place your sympathies aside, for I have lived, and I have never done goodbyes. I always crept out with the tide, for I've lived a sailor's life. it's done. On the day that I die, it'll be the same as any day. I close my eyes, what tomorrow might bring. Then here by my bed, I can hear a prayer being said. I turn my sails to the wind, and I'll be gone. I'll be gone. I'll be gone.
Lovely, that's Matt. Always profound, Matt. Always worthy of note. Always worth listening, and now beautifully sung. And you can.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing.
No, I'm very pleased for you. And, we were all on tenterhooks. I can only imagine how you were, because there was the odd post that just said, "This is what I'm going through," and it was like,
yeah, it was tough, like all things, but I'm really lucky. As awful as it is, I've got some amazing friends and family.
Indeed. There's one or two of them in the chat frame as well. Great to see you, Matt, with the guitar. Love always, guys. Pauline Town.
Oh, thanks,
There's
Pauline.
Pauline coming up. Hopefully we get to see you, Pauline. We've been having a little bit. And you're never far away from the conversation here, Pauline.
Never. She's always close to our thoughts and heart.
She looks after the Station Hotel in Ashton-under-Lyne and just about the whole community in Ashton-under-Lyne. So hopefully, I'll know tomorrow, Pauline, if you're listening, and see when we can actually catch you with a minute spare.
Good luck.
Come online and talk about all the great work that you do. Thanks for that. Talking about great work, we also have got John Birch, who is, apart from the record run scorer for
Mottram
Cricket Club, he also runs two fabulous gigs there. That's a Thursday afternoon at Mottram, past the guitar session, and once a month, great open mic, and it was mobbed. It was really fabulous. I was there on Friday as well. So thanks for all of that, and the run race as well. Thank you very much. That's John doing that. And there's a suggestion from Burns that perhaps the art gallery in Ilkeston would be interested in helping out. So maybe that's
kind of my neck of the woods where I grew up. Around the Erewash Valley.
Is that where the Elvis fan club shop?
Well, that was about 3 miles from where the Elvis shop was.
Yeah.
In fact, between there and Ilkeston, there was also a fully functioning Wild West town with buffaloes.
Is it still there?
It's not, unfortunately. It was called the American Adventure, and it was a theme park that was built on the site of a former colliery.
Yeah.
And it was a Wild West town.
There's one in Aberdeenshire,
Is there? I might have to get up there to film my promo video.
I think that might be the place to do it. I'll put you in touch with the right people. This has been fun, Matt. The whole day's been fun.
Oh, it's great to see you, Rob. Thank you for
joy to be here. Thanks for having us in front room. And thanks to everybody for joining us. And you're going to stick around because we're going to have an Elvis song of choice.
Yeah, so we'll play you out with this one. This is for Valentine's Day.
Of course, that's tomorrow. Long to wait.
And this is title track of the second movie.
Okay. How many are you on to now? How many did he make?
He made 33, and I think we're up to about number 20. So this was number 2, and he was in fine form in this film. It's a beautiful film. It's called Loving You. I will spend my whole life through loving you, winter, summer, springtime too, loving you, Only you makes no difference where I go or what I do. You know I'll always be loving you. And if I'm seen with someone new, don't you be blue. I'll be faithful, I'll be true, true to you. Only you, doesn't matter where I go or what I do. You know I'll always be loving you. Winter, summer, springtime too, always you. You know I'll always be loving you.
Wonderful, wonderful. On that note, enjoy your Valentine's Day, and if you haven't got anyone to love, just go and love somebody. Be nice to folks and be kind. And love is all that really matters at the end of the day. It doesn't have to be come with arm up the back. It actually is giving, and that's what you're doing, man. I love your work. I love the thing that you do in the community. I love this little town in the middle of this beautiful part of the world for that. There really seems to be a community spirit, and it grows out of the hardships of the working class in this area for so long.
It does.
And we'll get there. We shall overcome. And thank you for hosting us. Thanks for being with us, guys. This has been Monday Night Medicine Show with Matt Hill. Who knows what will be next week? Best way of working that out and finding that out is to go to the Medicine Show Moose mobile page, and I'll just flash that up again for you so that you can. It's Medicine Show on the road.me, and just follow the page and you'll get the odd Rob Ellen is going live, and the Moose is loose around about the Midlands of England, and we've got one or two really cool happening this week. I can't say much about it until I get final confirmation on what we are actually doing. But this week, while we're here, we've got a record launch, for instance, and we will be popping in, I think pretty much the Manchester scene, although Sheffield's pulling us in that direction as well. So we're in a good place to be. Leeds isn't that far away as well. So there's all manner of good stuff coming up this week. And thank you everyone for following us and allowing me to do this crazy trip. Wales next as well. So it's all good. Thanks again, guys, for joining us.
Thank you,
Matt. And we'll just play out the theme music with it. And that's us. We're done and dusted on another medicine show.